sort of a mixed bag of a day, but a great one all the same. Day started off right. Struggling to get sleep, and it's all broken. But eventually, I seem to be getting enough sleep every day, and today went along those lines, and for for a good few hours. I had this sense of clarity, and this, this groundedness I've talked about before, but a real sense of groundedness. I'm not actually sure whether that might have been covert drug-ins, because it was that, out of the ordinary, compared to the covert drug-ins, the overt covert drug-ins that I'm often administered in this total institution. That I think it's important to point out that that's what it is. And I looked at the news app, a couple of news apps. It was obvious the agendas were being set. Similar types of stunts that have been pulled, a myriad of stunts that have been pulled in the past. I sort of spotted, well, it's a load of bollocks, but and just carried on getting on with stuff. Just compartmentalised it, saw it for what it was. Thought it was quite funny as well, in some ways, and just got on with stuff. Had a great bacon sandwich, but in toast. And it's not. You don't want to have that all the time with toast. It's sort of a treat, because you sort of get used to the taste if you have it too much. But now and again, if you have smoked bacon in a toasted sandwich, it really is something else. And that's when the first drugging started. And from there on in, I decided early on, even before the day started to look good, that I wasn't going to keep talking around the flat, and sort of pointing certain things out that I see as going on in my environment. And in a funny way, it is a form of placement. It's a sort of negotiated form of placement, not like it was in 2000, or not like the powers that be wanted it to be in 2000. That sort of didn't quite work out for them back then. but it's it is so manufactured, my environment. It's breathtaking, the type of stunts people pull. I had the people downstairs later on in the day, running around with all sorts of stuff. But it's in like challenging that. I just do it with it. I don't go out bloody shouting and bawling at people or whatever. But I won't particularly characterise it like I do in this flat. What was going on there? My objective isn't to humiliate these people or make them look in ways that I could if I wanted to. Not particularly interested. But in a way, it's doing me the world of good. I mean, I could do without the druggings, but even so, at the at the moment, I'm sort of overriding those, and it is bizarrely, putting me in my place, sort of thing. At least in this flat, in so many ways. What they were doing were, I'd characterise it like I characterised it in the flat earlier, as this really manufactured attempt to pull off this type of cool Britannia, stereotypical depiction of working class life. There's total bullshit because they've been put up to doing all that. You know, I could understand if they were just getting on with it, but you know, they're clearly not. But anyway, it does me the world of good without even realising it. These people, despite being told do this, do that, and they do this, do that, and so on and so forth, as we know takes place, we're actually today at least really did me the world of good, far more than yesterday. You know, and like I say about what's going on with them, it ain't really kiddie. It ain't really. I wouldn't argue it's particularly Worcestershire, but the way I'm responding to it is very English, very Kidderminster. You know, that's about the way I'm going on is about as kiddie as you can get. And you look at how people are trying to do this, that, and everything around that. You know, it's you know that's getting back to a sense of what you know you get the type of placement that I'm getting to now, and that is really good for me. And it should be good for other people, but yeah, that's how it is. You know, I think it is partly the some of the medication that they put me on, even though I think it's too much, and maybe I shouldn't be on. Well, I don't think I should be on antipsychotics anymore. For example, you know, or mood stabilisers. I can see a case for that, as I've said before, but not really for. Antipsychotics anymore, because like I could react in other ways, but I've got to do things. You know, I'm doing things. Like I said, it is a sense of placement that actually is finally working. You know, and that's you know, and I think that's a pretty interesting development. I've not really sussed that before to the extent that I do now. So yeah, so even though they were doing what they were doing today, the people downstairs and stuff going on in the environment and so on and so forth. For example, this girl walking up the street where I live, really like there was no tomorrow, almost running up the street with the phone, and I thought, where are you going? It's kiddie. Like, what's a rush? You're in kiddie. There's nothing special to go. Like, you just anyway, which I thought was quite funny. But yeah, and what went on downstairs, I thought was quite funny eventually. But it is important to do this stuff. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Go berserk or something, or go hysterical, or whatever? I mean, both would be a mistake. And so the trick, I think, is like to ignore the way some people are going on, and just crack on with this what I see as a worthwhile sense of placement, of finding your way, of navigating a way to conventional living. You know, this is one of the reasons, because I said about TV that I sort of, once I'd dealt with that, there's no more need for it, for me to go back to the telly. But the danger still is that I go to that, like when after I watch the news, read the constructed news that's on the apps I've got, then druggings to try and, while I was having breakfast, to try and make me see things in particular ways that are just bogus, and just get the fuck on with your day, which is what I'd say to pretty much everyone, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, so all told, even though it was a bit of a mixed bag with the druggings and the fatigue I get at times, that are all part of the various sequences they keep trying to pull, this, that, and everything. overall it was pretty good. You know, it almost came to the point. I'm struggling to exercise. Exercise would do me a lot of good. But what I'm doing as well is sort of building up things in different areas. Uh, I like critical theory, but I do like a bit of capitalism as well. Capitalism is the worst thing there's ever been. And I bought myself, I've splashed out on a really decent piece of kit for myself tonight. Sort of a reward for, considering it's only the fifth day I've been out of hospital. Many people might not be able to see it. I don't know, and maybe that's a side issue. But really how well I've been doing, especially today, in terms of an approach that does owe a lot to Kidderminster, to the type of the type of people I've known, some of the people I've known in the past. In Kidderminster, including myself, my sense of humour, not only being Slavic and so on and so forth, but also, this is the town I grew up in. I owed a lot to Kiddie, but yeah. So yeah, I mean the danger, I suppose, is that the people behind the total institution will start seeing things differently and so on and so forth. But to take 5 days to start to get on top of all that stuff is some achievement. And I better blow my own trumpet because I don't see anyone else doing it anytime soon. But yeah, a damn successful way of doing things, and that's just the way it is. I see different stunts being pulled, and different media examples of media and stuff that does belong to the amalgam years and all that. But you just can't disregard them and do your thing. Just get on with it, because the subject positions, the total institution seems to be going for, would be incredibly detrimental. Not only to me, but I think to other people. If I went into the subject position, that sometimes seems to be the aim, rather than adopting the approach that I really did enjoy today. It's a really enjoyable day when all told. But yeah, but I noticed as well when I bought this thing that I'm getting soon. That I'm really looking forward to, even though I might not use it for long. The intention is there. But they tried to piss on my parade, for want of a better phrase. They might say, well, you're pissing on our parade. And I'd say, well, actually, I'm actually doing what I need to do, as I know this is a unique situation. There's never been a situation like this before. There may never be a situation like this again. Ideally, I'd like to just go about my business, but if this stuff is going on, and it is important to call it, to characterise it as it is. It is manufactured. They may be attempting things that they see as worthy, but they wouldn't work, right? They won't work in the short term, medium term, long term. They may work a bit in the short term, but they, my reasoning is that there'd be a medium and long term failure. Completely. So yeah, if I think there's a way. Finally, even though, like I said, there's a more than good chance that people will rail against that sort of thing. to get a sense of placement, to get on with things, not only for me but for other people, and to just, one of the psychiatrists said some words to the effect of just go out and enjoy yourself. That's what I intend to do eventually, and today in the flat, despite the druggings, despite the covert druggings, despite the engineered fatigue, I've managed to do pretty well. Now other people want to interpret that is their business. I would say keep it away from me because I'm just not interested. But the point of calling it a total institution is in that scenario. So many other people will find it tough when I say, and maybe even remarkable when I say stuff like, just get on with it. That's the way to do things. And yeah, so getting back to that sense that I've had throughout the bulk of my life, of just this sense of humour that really does owe a lot to the town, to the area, as well as other things. And that's what I did today. But like I said, the subject position being perceived maybe, with me and these people downstairs and so on and so forth, as I get a little bit of drugging going on, it's just a load of crap. It's just like, and it has been, quite chuffed with today. Will it be allowed to continue this way? What I was going to say about the TV is, if I did go back to the TV, like if I go downtown, there's a more than good chance again that I'll be drugged to the hell. Subject positions here, there, and everywhere. Trying to engineer subject positions here, there, and everywhere. It's just a load of crap. It's just like, I want to eventually go out and do stuff. I like staying in a lot as well, but now and again you do have to venture out. But like I said, the total institution, being like it is, would go for almost certainly some sort of big deal dramas and all that, despite the fact that I say, like we had, like I mentioned on the ward and so on, stuff that I'm just not fucking interested in. It's like if there is a need for a certain type of storyline, drama, narrative, whatever, just not interested. This is the stuff that people should do in a situation like this, whether for example, if they have voices, just take a leaf out of my book and approach them like I approach the manufacturing environment that I face. And eventually, let's hope this sticks, and it really is a way forward, I think. But yeah. So yeah. It was great this morning to just, not have these crazy druggings going on. Having that sense of normality again. But yeah, maybe it'll take a lot more of that. But I'm really not gonna change that approach things, because like it's another way of getting back to conventionality and groundedness and all the rest of it, though the druggings can throw a spanner in the works. What else was I going to say? I forgot, but I'm sure I'll remember at some stage. But yeah, so all told, a great day.